You are about to listen to the words of Fethullah Gulen, a distinguished Islamic scholar and thinker. In this podcast, you will hear his essay, Prophet Joseph.
We partially referred to Joseph, Yusuf, peace be upon him, in the shade of his father. His story was a very special one. He was a perfected person and an exemplary figure with his reliance on and submission to God, not wavering despite what befell him. His steadfastness, his upright stance in the face of situations to provoke carnal desires, his innocence and his loyalty to God turned prison into a place of edification. He was subjected to pressures and assaults in every phase of his life. He welcomed what fate decreed for him with contentment. He turned each of them into an advantage and a means of goodness. He was a locus of manifestations of providence and a notable in the eyes of High Assembly of Angels, Al-Mala al-Allah, Safat 37:8. For him, the bottom of the well became an observatory for the mystery of God's absolute oneness manifested within the light of divine unity. His being sold like a slave, may our souls be sacrificed for that slave, enabled him to observe the lifestyles of the upper elite. His entrance to the dungeon served as a means for his purity and profundity to be seen and known, and each point that seemed evil served as a step for ascending to his future mission. In his childhood and adolescence, he always lived under divine guardianship. In his later life, he took refuge in the stronghold of faith and ascended to the exalted position of being the favorite one of those on earth and in the heavens. When they could not manage to seduce him, he was threatened with prison. He said, "My Lord, prison is dearer to me than what they bid me to. If you do not avert their guile from me, I might incline towards them and become one of the ignorant, those who succumb to such temptations." He went to the dungeon with consent. He was young, charming, and in full health for desires of the flesh, but his immaculate feeling of decency, perfect God consciousness, and his feeling of and yearning for seeing God and gaining his good pleasure were so deep as to make him oblivious of himself. Then a time came when he interpreted the king's dream correctly thanks to his knowledge of the inner meaning of happenings inspired by God, while others dismissed it as jumbled images. Following this, he became a minister of the king. When the women admitted their guilt, their statements of exoneration did not change him at all. With serious self-effacement and modesty, he said, "Yet I do not claim myself free of error, for assuredly the human carnal soul always commands evil, except that my Lord has mercy, which saves us from committing evil acts. Surely my Lord is all-forgiving, all-compassionate." With a virtuous attitude special to the prophets, he walked to his happy future with a becoming magnanimity. The attitude his brothers adopted before this monument of decency, innocence, and prophetic intelligence is a subject that merits separate consideration. This sequence of events was foretold in a dream, and its finale was a joyful celebration when the family finally reunited. While everybody was elated by this profound joy, Prophet Joseph, peace be upon him, turned to his eternal sanctuary in a way perfected persons have always done. "My Lord, you have indeed granted me an important part of the rule and knowledge of the inner meaning of happenings. O my Lord, originator of the heavens and the earth with a dizzying harmony, you are my owner and guardian in this world and in the hereafter. Take my soul to you as a Muslim and join me with the righteous." As Joseph was crying out this supplication, he was emphasizing the fact that those tempted by the world and worldliness are in a delusion, which, to me, is one of the heartstrings of the matter. After having completed his mission, Joseph, peace be upon him, pushed aside the world in a way which can be described best with the words of the poet Fuzuli. "How pleasant to my soul, if the beloved asked for it. What worth is my soul anyway that I should not sacrifice it for my beloved?" Or in other words, when the beloved asks for my soul, how is it possible not to give it? How can we complain? My soul is neither yours nor mine. Joseph, peace be upon him, was indeed a hero of the heart and spirit who always led a life oriented to his eternal sanctuary, a towering figure of faith we should envy.
You have just listened to the words of Fethullah Gulen, brought to life through an AI-generated voice. Known for his teachings on faith, interfaith dialogue, peace, and education, Mr. Gulen also inspired the Hizmet movement, a global initiative that promotes democracy, human rights, equality, and nonviolence. To learn more about Fethullah Gulen and the Hizmet movement, visit fethullahgulen.org.